Hey guys, Brent here from Building the Exocet. Got the Miata in the garage, and it's tune-up time. Okay guys, just removing cylinder number 1 spark plug. See what we got here. No oil, but not the greatest plug in the world. Time to do compression check on cylinder number 1. Get my compression tester screwed in here. Okay, so cylinder 4 will not turn. I don't know why, but it won't. So I gotta do some quick troubleshooting. I gotta test around the battery, see how it's doing. Hopefully it's just a dead battery from turning over. I doubt it, as it turned over very, very good on the others, but time to take a look. It's been a long day. So, got to cylinder 4, stopped cranking over. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was. Battery tested fine. Voltage was 12.42. Thought maybe there's a problem. Charged a little more, still no problem. The lights all went out in the car, wouldn't work. Tried another battery, wouldn't work. Took the first battery in, so got it tested, 100% good. Then to find out, tug on the battery cable, the positive side a little bit in the trunk, pull it toward the rear of the car, lights come on in the car. What the heck? Must be a loose connection or something, bad connection at the starter, or the starter's going bad. Because then I could get the starter to click. So grabbed a broomstick, smacked the starter a few times, turned over enough to get my compression check done. So here are the results. Number 4 piston, 160. So we got, I think it was 150, 154, 144, 160. Low, but I don't think that's too bad. I'm going to look that up and see what they say. But anyways, hooking her back up, pulling her in the garage for the night. That was a lot of work for a compression test. Hey guys, so I got the starter all troubleshot. Basically, my thought was I had a bad starter. That actually wasn't the case. I did go ahead and put a new starter on the car. The problem I was having was I would turn the car on to accessory, then go to turn it to the on position, and what would happen is everything would die. I'd hear a click from the starter solenoid, then all the lights would go off in the car, nothing. So what I ended up finding out was there was the positive cable on the starter did not have a nut on it, and it was kind of dangling there loose. Pulled the starter out, had it tested, said it was fine. Put it back in, tried putting jumper cables to the battery, or jumper cables from the battery to the starter directly to isolate the electrical system of the car. Starter still wouldn't work. Ended up getting a new starter, put it in, still the same problem. Then what I ended up finding is the problem I was having was actually due to a short wire between the positive battery terminal and the starter itself. So this is what that looked like. So now here in the trunk of the car, you know, I tested the battery tested fine, there's no issues with that.
But what I noticed is when I was pulling the battery in and out while testing it and trying to figure out what was going on, is that when I pulled on the positive cord here, if I pulled it back toward the rear of the car, all of a sudden the lights clicked on when I left the key in the accessory position. Now, what I ended up finding out what the short was, and I still don't know exactly where it is, but if I went a little farther down the harness toward the front of the car here and tugged on the wire, the lights would not come on. But playing around with it more, I found out that there was actually a short somewhere in here, because when I grabbed at this position, the lights would come on, and I could even turn it to the point that I could get them to click on and off. So since I can grab down here and pull and move and nothing happens, but from here it does, I'm 99% positive there is a problem between here and the battery terminal. More than likely this stupid little crimp connection here for the positive cable. So I'm going to get a new terminal here for the battery, as well as soldered ends, and solder them onto the positive battery cables, and that should fix my intermittent loss of power to the car. So this end of it's all wrapped up. I've determined my problem. I'm going to get that done before I start the teardown, but I don't need to go any further with that for you. It was just a stupid problem that was a pain in the butt to diagnose. I'm no professional mechanic, and I'm halfway decent with electrical, but these electrical things in cars can really drive you nuts, especially when you don't know what you're doing. Alright, so first things up, oil change. Just got the new oil, or the old oil, drained out, and went to change the filter, and amazingly enough, this is my beautiful oil filter. Now, you can see it's pretty dry, nothing coming out. That's how it was when I took it off the block, mainly because it was completely free spinning and not sealed at all to the block. So that, I'm going to guess, was a good portion of the smoke coming out of the engine bay. Now, got a new filter on there, going to put the new oil in. Also, I'm going to go ahead and put in engine restore, engine treatment. This claims on the bottle that it works to increase compression in high mileage engines. If your car has over 50,000 miles, we guarantee an increase in compression or your money back. Now, I'm definitely not going to try to get my money back from I can't remember what it was, $9-10 can, but it'll be interesting because I'm going to do an after compression test. After I run this through the motor, do new plugs, change the oil, the whole tune-up, and see what happens. So, also going to do some Lucas fuel injector cleaner. Going to run a bit of that through the tank. Hey guys, another thing I wanted to show you real quick is the amazing steering wheel this thing came with. Very nice eBay looking racing wheel. However, look at the high integrity. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, this sucker's gonna go. Alright, time for first test drive. Just going to pull around the block real quick, as this thing is definitely not in great condition to drive around. See how much she smokes here. It's about the jankiest steering wheel ever. Well, that was absolutely terrifying. I got into second, going about 25 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the steering went out. I was able to slam the brakes before running into a car. Parked at the end of the street and tried to turn her around, but all it would do is the steering wheel would move and the tires wouldn't. So
ran a few blocks back to my house, picked up a socket and a socket wrench, and this bad boy here became my new steering. Left is off, flip it to back to tighten, to go right. So yeah, without that, the sucker just doesn't do nothing. So luckily I didn't get it out on the road, because out on the 35-mile-an-hour road out there, because that would have been a little freaky. So new day, new problem.